What is happening, YouTube? How y'all doing today? Just your average Joe hanging out in the garage. It is is today Wednesday? I don't even know what day today is, man. Look at that. Today is Wednesday. How about that? It's already Wednesday. Crazy. But anyway, appreciate y'all hanging out. Just your average Joe hanging out in the garage. We're gonna go over sales, drop some nuggets, and talk about other things. Maybe I don't really know. It's just you know how we do around here. It's just all raw and unedited. Um, but we had some pretty good sales. If you haven't been around before, again, my name is Joe. If you haven't caught that yet, I've been reselling full time on eBay for 8 years or so. But I've been on eBay buying and selling, hustling, and doing my thing since 2000, way back in the early times when uh, there was Western Union still, and money orders and things like that. So anyway, been around a while, been around eBay a while. So I can certainly help. If any of y'all new resellers need any help or anything along your journey, feel free to drop comments. That's something we'll certainly be doing as well as covering comments, because I enjoy covering comments and talking about, whatever you guys drop comments about and talk about it. So, but anyway, sales have been going okay. I feel like we're kind of steady now. We're starting to steady out a little bit, which is nice. We ended up having I think it was 6 sales between yesterday and today. Yep, 6 sales for $340.55. So that's a pretty good per item. What is that per item? If you're do my math here, what is 340 divided by 6? What's that per item? 56.66. So it goes back to, hey, that's about where I'm at. I'd say is around $50 $50-$60 an item. So pretty good sell per item rate. So we'll go over what sold, but let's hit comments first. Hopefully your sales are going good, and welcome to Wednesday, hump day. So there's that. Sourcing starts Friday for me. There's a yard sale. Well, actually, let me backtrack. I ended up doing, if you were with me yesterday, I ended up picking up those 4 PlayStations. They were janky, nasty, disgusting. The guy ended up almost backing out on the deal, but the guy was like, "Hey, how about it?" So it was the deal was for 130. I ended up almost backing out, and the guy was like, "Well, I was just like, man, these are really, really pretty bad. Like, I didn't realize." And I was like, "Are you sure they all work?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, they work. They work." I'm pretty sure they're not all going to work. So he was like, "Well, how about $100?" I was like, "It's still a lot of work for $100, man. Like, I don't know." But I was like, "You know what? We're here. I'll I'll figure it out." So I did get all 4 of them for $100. 2 slims, 2 fats. So I tested them all last night. I was up till darn near 3 in the morning last night. After I got done doing my football helmets. If you guys know, they've been with me before. I do autographed football memorabilia, mainly football helmets on Facebook Live. So I was up till about midnight last night doing that. We did 6 helmets last night, which is pretty good. And then from there till from about 12ish to about 3, I just had YouTube running and watching stuff and tinkering with PlayStations and testing stuff and cleaning them and other things that I needed to clean so I could get them up on eBay. So I tested all 4 of those PlayStations. The one slim works fine. One fat works fine. I only had 1 controller. Well, actually, I take that back. The 2 controllers that came with them did not work, either one of them. So, and those are in my junk controller box. So what I do is, whenever controllers, and this may help other folks if you just kind of think outside the box sometimes. I collect broken controllers from deals that I do, and then once I have that box is actually getting full, so I don't know, maybe another handful more, maybe another 5-10 more, and what I'll end up doing is laying all of them out, taking pictures, putting them on eBay as just a huge lot of broken controllers. Last time I did that, I've done that like twice in the past. It takes a while for it to build up to make it worthwhile, but I think the last batch I sold for like $90. So it's just there's people that use them for parts and fix them and do other, so I will fix up to a certain extent, and that leads me to the other 2 plate stations. One slim doesn't work. The power button's like jammed up and not working. Not like it works, but it's not clicking. So something's up with the power button. So I can probably get that squared away and fix that by taking it apart, but it also doesn't read discs, so I'm gonna have to take it apart anyway. So I ordered a lens, new laser for the other slim. They're like $20 or so, $22 or something like that. So I ordered another laser for that should fix that problem. It's happened before where I've replaced the lens and it still doesn't work. But I've replaced the lens and it does work. So it's the first thing that I usually tries, and then I can always return the lens if it doesn't work. I can get my money back there. But anyway, so I got the lens there, and then I'll tinker with the power button and see what's up with the power button. Again, it works, but it just doesn't click. So I don't know, it may just be gummed up because these systems were nasty. Like they were nasty, like level 10, disgusting, sitting in a barn apparently forever. And so I blew them out with the air compressor. If you don't know, whenever I get systems, if they're pretty good, I don't mess with the air compressor and blow them out. But if they've got a bunch of dust and nasty inside, you can just tell they're just jank and nasty, then I typically will blow them out and get all that nastiness out of them, or the best that it can. So that takes care of the slim. The other fat that's not working powers up. However, somebody had already unscrewed it, so the cover comes right off, and I didn't realize that when he gave them to me, because they were wrapped up in cords. So I didn't, the cords and things were wrapped up on them, so I didn't realize it until I got them home and started processing. So all the screws were out of the case. So basically, the top cover just came right off. Something's up with the CD drive. That one I couldn't even get the disk drive to open. So that one's pretty messed up. I was about to say the F word, but pretty messed up. So I've watched a few videos. I've never messed with the optic drive or the CD drive on a fat PS2. I've done the laser on a slim, and that's pretty simple. So I was watching a video on the fat. It's a little bit more entailed. You can buy the whole unit because you have to like take the top cover off, and then it's just a few more steps. It's a little bit more entailed than the slim. So it's not over my head, but I would rather just, so you can mess with the mechanism that opens the trays out and stuff, and then you can also replace the laser, because I don't know if the laser works or not in it, because right now the issue is I can't even get the disc tray to open and close. It's jammed, it's stuck, it's messed up. So I've thought about just replacing the whole drive. They're like $40 or so for just the whole drive, the lens, the mechanism, the whole thing. Just swap it out basically for $40. So I've thought about doing that, because if there is a lens issue, after I do the work for the tray, then I gotta basically then tackle that too separate. So I've thought about just buying the whole thing and just going that route. So I don't know. I'm teeter-tottering. Excuse me. I was up late last night, and so it goes back to like cost, like if I sell the slim, well, the slim I should be able to fix. So let's leave that out of the equation. But if I sell the fat as it is, I could, as parts and repair, probably get $30 out of it, maybe $20-$30 out of it. If I bundle it if I get it working, then I got to spend another $45. And then obviously I'm gonna bundle it with games and things like that, assuming it works and fires up and is working. Then I'll end up bundling it with games and things like that and sell it for around $120. They usually sell for me with a bundle like 5 games or so for about $120, filler games, but for about $100, $120, $130 is typically what it memory card and one controller, about $120, $130. We'll say $125, give or take. So if I'm putting in at $125, so now you got to kind of break down the cost. Like, is it worth my time to spend about $45 to flip it to get the $125 out of it, and put in that work, and or is it just, let me just sell it for like $30 as it is, let somebody else mess with it? In this case, I'd say it's probably better to just go ahead and buy the optic drive, assuming that takes care of it all. Then I'm still in a position to make the difference of the selling it as parts and selling it as working, and buying the part you need is a difference of about $30 profit here, versus if I put in 45, I can potentially make what's 85. So now I got to put in some time on that 85, and I got to cross my fingers and hope that that's all it is once it's said and done. But that's, at this point, from what I've determined, I believe that's all it's going to be, especially if I get the whole thing in one. So it's worth it. Sometimes you got to do those, that little analysis. Like, is it worth my time and effort to even do this for the difference in profit that I'm going to make versus just selling it as parts and just keep it moving? Now, I will say there's another caveat to that. I don't have a second controller. I don't have any extra controllers anymore because I used them all up. So I don't have any extra PS2 controllers laying around. So actually, out of that 85, I have to spend about another 17, 18. We'll just call it 20 to get a controller. So now 85 is a $65 profit. So now I also don't have an extra memory card anymore. I've just used up my last memory card too. So I don't have any extra memory cards laying around. So a memory card is like $10. So now you're talking 55 profit. So, and I'm doing this live. I didn't even think about this last night. So in my mind last night, I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and order the part. And I didn't order it yet, but now I'm thinking to myself, well, actually now I'm gonna be in like, and this is real time. My gears are moving, guys. So 55, 40, 65, right, for the controller, and then another 10 for a memory card. So we'll call it $55, give or take, versus 30. Is my hour of time worth that $25 difference versus just sell it for 30 and keep it moving? I don't know, probably not. So I'm going to ponder on that now that I've gone through that with you guys live. Oh, this is all raw and unedited. You know how we do around here. I don't know. Y'all tell me. Would you do it or not? Drop a comment. Let me know. Would you replace it with that $25-ish difference versus selling it as is, parts and repair, or buying the stuff you need to fix it and then the accessories you need to sell it as a bundle for the price that you normally sell it for? I've got the filler games already, so that's already on hand. I have a bunch of filler games laying around for PS2, so that's no problem to add those to the bundle. But technically, without adding those to the bundle, I'd be breaking even probably, because those help me bump up the price of a PS2. Typically, they sell without games for about 90, give or take, so maybe 100, give or take. So adding the 5 or so games bumps it up to about that 120, 130 range, give or take. So it's probably better for me to just sell it as parts and repair, not mess with it. Just keep it moving. Just sell it for $30, parts and repair. Let somebody else, have at it, kind of thing. That has more of the things maybe on hand, or But anyway, so it's also missing the back expansion door. So really, I would want to buy that. I'm sure that's like $7-8. But that still it continues to shrink your profit difference. So then it becomes now that $25. Now we're talking like $20-ish difference. I'll probably I think I'm convincing myself now to just sell it as parts and repair. So that's probably what I would end up doing. But and then you factor in the fact that I spent probably an hour laying in bed last night, or this morning actually, watching videos of how to do it. Getting the confidence to say I can. That's not too bad. I can do that. I've done other stuff that's not more complicated, so I can do that. And then so it's just that time. Is it worth it? So anyway, that's where I'm at. I'm probably not going to do it. What are you doing? Oh. No, because we're gonna have lunch within the hour. So no, you can have some crumb cake after we have lunch. You can have a little piece, but we're gonna have lunch here in about 45 minutes.
Dad, there's little pieces already cut up.
Of the crumb cake?
Yeah.
How little?
Like that little.
Go get a piece and bring it here and show it to me. All right. So yeah, I think I'm gonna pass on fixing it, actually. Although I do like tinkering with stuff. So the other part of me is like, well, just it's experience. You'll learn how to do it, and you'll make a few dollars still when it's all said and done, Joe. So just buy the stuff you need, fix it, hope it all is good to go, and then you'll still make like 20-30 bucks off of what's all said and done. Yeah, I don't know. So that's the little tinkerer in me, the little I like messing with stuff and trying to fix stuff and whatnot. So I had a return on a Game Boy Advance or a Game Boy.
It's little, and I haven't had any pieces yet.
Let me see.
There's still 2 left.
Oh yeah. Let me see. Did you bring one to show it to me?
Yeah.
That's a pretty big piece.
A little.
No. You can have.
Can I cut it in half and have some of it? And
sure. Cut it in half in the container that it's in.
Okay.
Okay. So all the crumbs don't go everywhere.
Lunch too.
You already had a cookie this morning. Did you? We're not supposed to have.
Okay, I'll just have half of it.
So yeah, Game Boy Advance. So this was a return. I had a return on this, and the guy was like, "The start button doesn't work on it." I don't know how I missed that, but I missed that. So the start button didn't work, and I didn't want to tell the guy, "Well, dude, just open it up and just clean it with alcohol and it should work." I wasn't going to do that to my customer. I was like, free return, send it back to me, no problem. Well, I opened it up last night. I take the 91. I use 91 because that's all the Dollar General has. That's right next to my, like, 5 minutes from my house. It's convenient to pick up easy stuff when I need to. But picked up 91% alcohol, alsapropic alcohol, whatever. I can't remember the name, but um, alcohol, 91%. 99 is ideal, but 91 will work just as good or almost as good. And just clean the contacts. I open this thing up, clean the contacts, put it back together, done. Start button works like a charm. So relisted this last night, and it's already had an offer on it, but they were a lowball offer, so I declined it. But yeah, so anyway, I like tinkering with stuff. I'm saying all that to say I like tinkering with stuff. That's all. So let's get to comments because it's already 15 minutes in, and I want to keep this under 30. So let's get to comments. So that's my conundrum. I don't have any pickups. Excuse me. I don't have any pickups lined up for today. So today's going to be kind of a quiet day. I hope. Excuse me. Might be getting the hiccups here. But anyway, I gotta go to bed earlier. Let's start with Jesus. Jesus says, "Average Joe. I'm also thinking I should accept the four. I'm also thinking I should accept. Did he reply to his message or something? I'm also thinking I should accept the 4 offers I received. Now I'm just stuck with items. I will be accepting more offers. Needless to say, thank you for your hard work. Absolutely appreciate the knowledge you share. Cheers, Average Joe. Dude, I do the same thing. A lot of times, I'm not gonna say it happens a lot. Well, it happens. It happens frequently. People send me offers and it's not the number I want, and then I send them a counter and I never hear anything back from them. And I say to myself, man, I should have probably just accepted that offer. Now, what you can do, and I've done this before, I don't do it a ton, but what you can do is I don't think you can do it from your. In fact, I have not figured out a way to do it from your phone. But if you go on a computer, you can actually go to that person's, like, feedback thing, and then it's got the option to contact them because there's no other way to contact the person that sent you an offer. But if you go into their feedback, there's a contact. Let me confirm this real quick before I where it's at, because I believe it's if you go to their feedback, then there's a contact me option or contact option. You can contact them, or if they have things listed on eBay, then you can go into one of their listings and you can contact them that way. So I've done that before, and it's created a sale for me before. Hey, I didn't accept your offer of whatever, but I thought about it. I'll accept it if you're still wanting it. Whatever the dollar amount was, and sometimes they come back and they offer it again. They all reoffer and you sell it, and sometimes you never hear from them again, and that's fine. I don't do that a ton. Like, I don't chase that a ton, but there have been certain things that I'm just like, man, let me reach out to this guy because I'll take that $60 or whatever. I'll take that $20. Like, I should have just probably taken it to begin with. So that's just something to think about that you can try. But I think it's under. Let me go to, like, somebody's profile. I think it's like, let's go to this guy's profile. Let's see what's here. Yeah, contact, but I think like this one's got 13. Yeah, contact member. So under their feedback, there's an option to contact member. So you can either go there, or you can like I said, go to one of their items if they're selling something on eBay. But either way, just a little nugget to throw at you to think about, because I've done that myself, and I've been like, man, how do I get back to that person? Because there's no way through the regular way of them doing the offer, there's no contact that customer option. But if you're strategic and kind of work around eBay a little bit and know how that works, then you can go into their feedback portion and shoot them a message that way, or through their listings. So anyway, hope that helps generate another sale or two for you. It's helpful. It's helped me in those instances where I do that. It has helped me. So anyway, it doesn't even let me reply. It doesn't even let me. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Let's give you a thumbs up, Jesus, and let's do reply. Replied on newest video. All right. copy that so I don't have to retype that every time. All right, so the next one is Kurt says, yo, Average Joe, glad to hear you had good weekend sales. Yes, it was nice, and they've been pretty steady the last couple of days. So I'm projecting to hit goal right now as long as we kind of stay the course, stay steady. Um, Mine were not. I'm sorry. They'll get better though. It's you know how eBay is. Um, Saturday I didn't sell one thing. Just got to keep grinding and take the good with the bad. Um, you're absolutely right, man. You just gotta just keep that smile on your face and keep on keeping on, man. Keep on grinding. I am excited for NCAA. Finally, a reason to play my PS5 again. I would lower and free up space and money. You will get more systems to sell at. I would lower and free up space and money. You will get more systems to sell at Christmas time. You're not wrong. It is easier to get them now during the summertime, though. So you're not wrong. I probably should lower prices. I'll ponder on that, but yeah, NCAA. I messaged 3 people this morning that had Xbox Series S's. I was like, you know what? I'll get the digital version. Bump it. Even though I want the hard copy, you know what? I'll get digital because I want to play it. I asked the guys last night because I was doing the football helmets last night, and so I asked some of the guys last night. Everybody that was watching, I was put it out there like, hey, who's been playing NCAA, and do you like it? And like 4 guys replied like, dude, it's freaking awesome, man, love it, bud. And I'm like, so it got me hyped up a little bit more. I'm like, man, I want to play some NCAA. The difference with NCAA is it's, you know, even when you just straight demolish the computer, right? It's somewhat realistic because that the 63-0 is not unheard of in college football. You know what I mean? So when you straight demolish, that's the difference between like Madden. When you run up scores and stuff, it's a lot of times it's just not realistic, man. But NCAA it's different, and then you can take a small tiny school like I went to Western Carolina University for a year, and it's got a little special place in my heart. I had a really good time for the year that I was there. Graduated from a school called UNC Pembroke, um, part of the UNC school system. There, I started there, went to Western, then went back there and finished there. But Pembroke did not have a football team back in the day. They now have a football. They've had a football team now for, I don't know, probably 10, 15 years now at this point since I've been out of college. But what I'm saying is I'm not sure if they're on the game or not. But if they are, I'm going to pick them. And they're going to be terrible. And my job is to what? Make my own character, make them a beast, and help them get to, maybe not the national championship, but at least be in the run-in of top 10 in the country, and then you build on that. The next year you try to, and then you get better recruits, and so it's fun, man. College football is fun. I'm starting to remember like how fun that thing is, and then the cool thing is I don't play Madden anymore, and I don't know if I'll end up jumping back into Madden. I think like 2012 or so is when I stopped playing Madden so much. Um, but then you can incorporate your roster and do the draft and bring the guys over. So the guys you played against and or built yourself, that they talked about on NCAA. Now they're gonna move them into Madden, so it's just cool. It's cool. Anyway, yeah. So I'm there. I'm getting there. So hopefully one of those 3 folks reach back out to me. One lady had it up for 150 with controller and headset, and I was like, hey, would you go 120 without the controller or without the headset? Because I don't need either one of those. Worst case, if she says no, then I'm going to just be like, all right, I'll do 150. That's a good price. I want the physical game. That's the only thing that keeps like, I'm like, Urgh. But anyway, so there's that. Next one up, they're spending money. So Mark says they're spending money on credit cards. Soon they will run out of credit. Maybe, maybe not. Look, I don't know. I mean, that's assumptions that I'm not going to make. I don't know what their financial situations are. All I know is people are out there spending money. So the economy is not as bad as what we perceive it to be right now. We are coming out of the shithole at this point that we were in. So it ain't going to continue forever. And granted, yes, I hear like credit cards are the highest they've ever been, blah, 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 blah. Well, motherfuckers are going to have to start working more to pay that shit off. Trust me, that's what's going to end up happening. They're not going to get hand-me-outs, or they're going to have to default. And that's just, and deal with that. It's not like that stuff doesn't happen every day, all the time anyway, whether the economy is good or bad. So that's, but I can say for more